Hi, Andy here. You know, when I think about it, there really is no better place to have this wedding than here in Chicago. Why is that, you ask? Well, if it weren't for Chicago, who knows if Lynn and I would have ever met? Okay, if it weren't for Chicago and Friar Tuck, not the Robin Hood character, the bar. That's better. But we'll get to that in just a few. First, let's go to Lynn. Born and raised in Battle Creek, Michigan. She attended Michigan State University and majored in marketing. Unlike some people, Lynn knew exactly what she wanted to do, and she was a very productive young woman. While in college, she completed internships at Kellogg and GE. She was also able to study abroad for a semester in Germany. Then, after graduating with her degree in marketing, she moved to Chicago in October of 2005 and started her career in the advertising world. Just 4 years later, she set her roots in this great city and bought her condo on Halsted Street. But was it all work and no play? Of course not. Lynn was busy hosting dinner parties, enjoying wine, buying Groupons, skydiving, scuba diving, and let's not forget, traveling. Because if there's one thing Lynn loves to do, it's travel. And it was her trip to China in early 2011 that set up a night out with friends to celebrate her birthday at Friar Tuck. Hold on though, I'm getting ahead of myself. I still need to tell you about this guy. By the way, that's me. Born and raised in Jeffersonville, New York. I attended Oswego State University and graduated with a degree in theater and broadcasting. Shortly after graduating from college, I moved to New York City and put that college degree to work. Just kidding, I worked a temp job and pursued acting on the side. Theater! Hoping to one day see my name in lights. Although the acting career never took off, it was the temp jobs that helped me find my new passion in life, filing. I mean, web design. After a lot of working, quite a bit of saving, money, some traveling, and a little soul searching, I decided in 2008 to try something new and moved to Chicago in January. So here both these kids are, living in Chicago, and this is where the story of Lynn and Andy truly begins. Now, let's go back to that bar, Friar Tuck. Again, with the Robin Hood, can you? Thank you. As I mentioned before, Lynn was out with friends to celebrate her birthday, and I was out for a friend's going away party. Anyway, drinks were had, along with plenty of good times, and there's probably more to the story, but let's cut to the important stuff. I noticed Lynn, she noticed me, and when I finally got the courage to approach her table, I walked over and uttered the perfect line, "I know magic," and the rest was history. History that needs to be told, though, because it was on our first date that we both realized just how similar we really were. On a suggestion from one of my friends, I made plans for us to have dinner at a restaurant in Bucktown, which was not very close to either of our places. The fastest and easiest way to get there was to take a taxi, but the cheapest way to get there was taking public transit. So with plans to meet at the restaurant and not knowing how the other was getting there, we both chose the thrifty option and took public transit. Of course, we never would have known that if we hadn't timed out the trip exactly the same and ended up meeting each other on the bus on our way to Bucktown. I guess you could say that some things do happen for a reason. And since that night, nearly 3 years ago, there's been plenty more dinner dates, not to mention festivals, parties, road trips, family trips, vacations, and a whole lot of fun. Which is why, in early October of 2013, I got one of those fancy engagement rings and asked Lynn to marry me. By the way, she said yes. So now, the date's been set, the planning begins, and we hope to see you right here in Chicago, where it all began.
Created using Powtoon.